Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2. Yo.
Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1.
On the troll.
You know, it is that time when you hear that. All that is happening. Right. Bafowethu, indaba kanje. Greetings. This is what is happening. The issue of yesterday.
Yeah.
Of application.
To have
clearly it was out of line. And somehow someone slept on it and woke up and never talked about it.
It's
as
like
if
it never happened.
Never ever happened.
Follow up, Nyana.
No follow-up, no report, no nothing. Right? But I still tell you, you would need to buy glasses if you cannot see what is happening in that court. That court, what the police say, it's believable. It is true.
Yeah.
It is the gospel truth.
Yes.
And you saw that towards the end. I'm glad that MNISI finally said it.
He assessed the statement and he said the thumbprints. He approved the thumbprints and the signature and the X. And then he read, of course he did this after reading the entire pointing out statement from Colonel Hadebe.
I'm glad.
He read it.
I'm glad that MNISI finally said it. You are biased. You have made your decision. And I've been saying that the man sounds like the decision is already there.
He just wants to collect circumstantial evidence to support the what he's already drafted. If you ask me, this judgment is getting readjusted every day.
I'm so glad that now he knows what is happening. Don't be fooled by the face. Today, he probably embarrassed himself in that court in doing what he did. That is an embarrassment.
Shocked. It was shocking.
His eyes were down there, facing down, because he knows that he messed up. Emotions.
Icon.
Emily was saying it, and I've been saying it also. Play with those emotions.
Yes.
He's capable of breaking.
Yeah.
Now, the target is not to please the judge. The target is to annoy him.
Yes.
And MNISI is doing that greatly. Properly.
I'm gonna need the rest of them to join.
If all of them, they can move like that,
just annoy him.
Then they would have proven the biased judge. That's all they need.
Right now, he's ripe.
That's all they need.
He's for the taking.
Let him make those mistakes of showing which side is on, of showing which decision is had. Let him make those mistakes.
And people
and do not give him an easy way out. That's the aim. Don't give that judge an easy way out.
No.
In my head, I think he wants to go out.
You think so? He wants to recuse himself.
Yes. But don't give him that.
But I don't think so.
Don't give him that.
I think sometimes I'm like...
Let him keep on doing that. Let him keep on doing that. Don't give him a way out. I was glad to hear... Bonique Bigwai, thank you very much. I was glad to hear MNISI saying that tomorrow or today he could be finishing.
Yeah.
To show that all that Baloyi was doing
was wasting
time and making sure that he's training the poor witness.
And getting him to break. Just
That's
like
it.
the judge is breaking allegedly right now.
Don't give him a way out. He must say himself, I raise my hand. I'm done. I'm tapping out. Don't give him the way out. the apartheid system is going to come out.
Yes.
Keep on doing the right thing. I'm not saying go and say, hey, you
Don't
are
be
messed
careless.
up. You are no. Your emotions at the highest level as we are dealing with the situation and we are collecting information,
Find that
data,
legal
everything.
language. Find that legal language to address.
I can tell you, MNISI is one of the
brilliant.
greatest lawyers
He's
that I've seen in
brilliant.
criminal law.
Yes, he's
I'm
brilliant
telling you,
at addressing
I know that you people have
respectfully
undermined
so.
many, but I'm telling you, I'm seeing that at some point he was once a prosecutor now. This is where you see him.
He was.
You know, he's letting things unfold. One day he does get pissed, but he's so emotionally intelligent.
And he understands a long trial. You can tell that
He's a marathon person.
he's a marathon.
He knows
runs
that
marathons.
it takes a while to reach where you want to go. And he's going to eat the judge piece by piece. You know where he killed me?
Wait.
After reading that whole thing.
Yes.
Then he says, I don't know what to do. Maybe that should be interpreted to the witness. But my Lord, I don't know what we have just done right now.
Ratha looks so defeated. I never seen him like that.
That is emotional damage.
He looks so defeated. It's like, but it has been interpreted before. But okay, it's fine.
Yes. Let him sweat. Let him do what he's doing. Don't get emotionally attached to it. Just keep on highlighting these things.
Yeah, highlight them. Just
Like saying, even if I stand here for 2 days, the court will still find it easy to actually go with the states. Straightforward.
yes.
Simple as that. The records
that.
remembers that.
MNISI did that.
Yes.
Yesterday. He did
With a
that.
smile.
He did that.
No emotions. Don't shout at him. Don't shout at him.
No more shouting. Those days are over.
Deal with him. Irritate him. Do it legally. So, he is going to break. He wants to be heard. He wants to be the only voice that is the voice of reason. He wants to sound smart more than everyone in the house. And his smartness, he wants it to be raw, so loud.
Yes.
So
and invasive.
keep on showing that you guys are better than him. And you do that, he gets irritated, he overdoes it. And then he starts doing it for the state.
When he took that paper, that statement and said,
The
let me read
utterances
it.
that were there, that's what we are looking for. Where he was saying, that's all I know. That's what I know. That's all we had. That's all I had. Forgetting that there is a theory of MNISI. There is a theory of MNISI. And that theory is not considered.
No.
When you say that's what you know,
He's not even thinking about
you are
it.
literally saying that's what you have accepted.
He keeps calling him Mr. Sibisi. Just goes to show that makhuluma umuzi uvele vala amadlebe ethi akalaleli vele faka ama earplug.
Exactly. So let him sweat. There is nothing wrong. I hope Ramusipiri goes the very same way. Keep on reminding him of all the things that he's been doing for the states.
What is
bending
good for
backwards.
Yes.
Keep
what
on
is
reminding.
Good for the geese is good for the gander.
Yes. Don't forget that.
Faga, that language that you guys use. Put it on the record. Each time there's a misnomer like this, don't let it slide. Never let it slide again.
Don't come back and say,
like
as
it
the court
didn't
pleases.
happen. No,
you don't do that. As the court pleases, Yan. How can the court pleases when the court is biased? As a court pleases what?
This court is very biased. This one.
Huh? As a court pleases what? You argue. If he's giving you a platform to argue as entering the tare, argue with him.
Toe for toe.
Toe for toe. Simple as that. Slowly. So that we
Fight
see
for your
him
clients.
doing it all. We want to see it in color TV, in SABC. We want to see him.
Yes.
We want to see him doing it. We want to see him become a prosecutor.
Yes.
And change become a judge.
Yes.
And then change become, we want to see him
Defender of the state.
Yes, a witness. We want to see it all.
Yeah. So we need to see it all. And also, I realized that, the objections were coming through. The objections were coming through so nice, so sweet, so nice when Advocate MNISI was cross-examining. And the most important thing that I realized is that he's cross-examining on stuff that Mr. Sibiya actually picked up himself. But when he is giving Mr. Sibiya an opportunity to get more on the record, here comes Mr. Baloyi standing up every 5 seconds and objecting. And on his objections, he's accusing MNISI of leading the witness.
Which was never there. How can you lead a witness if there is a yes or no option? How can you lead a witness
He just
if there is a
doesn't
yes or
want
no?
Muzi to put stuff on record, like in a summarized manner.
MNISI is dealing with him properly.
Sure.
Put him on a voicemail if he's objecting to useless stuff. Put him on that voicemail.
I'm like, who
voicemail.
objectayo? Every time when the defense would object, what did he tell them? He told them
They will get the
they'll
time.
get the time and opportunity to cross-examine or to re-examine. Now it's the time of the state, and the state needs to cross-examine with no interruptions. Now, every 5 minutes, my lord, the objection. He's leading the witness.
Exactly. Hit him where it hurts.
After 3 weeks, we can finally declare that Sibiya is almost done. I'm sure tomorrow he will finish, because I heard MNISI saying that maybe he might stretch it up until tomorrow to show that, hey, got the sabegezela for this entire 3 weeks. I was thinking of resigning.
You know what the fear is now?
I was questioning my life.
You know what the fear is?
Yes.
Is who's coming next.
Who's coming?
That's what the fear is.
Who's coming next?
That's
Do they
exactly
know?
what the fear is going to be.
Oh, they must relax. All of this, the witnesses are coming.
No, I'm saying with Baloyi, that's where the problem is.
No, he must relax.
He cannot, you see, you can wing it with the people who are accused.
Yeah.
But when the witnesses coming from outside come in, you can't wing it that much.
Uzawuba strong. Abomuzi
I
nabo
heard
have been
MNISI.
strong
What I'm
for 6
happy
years.
about is that those people who are crucial, such as accused number 1, and I would say MNISI is assisting, is going to be assisting also in accused number 2. I heard him. They should resort to that thing, even Bomsholol. There's a question that was asked, and the interpreter interpreted his own things. So MNISI then decided to more Zulu there straight, so that the question could be understood by the Kuzan, the witness.
Yes. I heard that. I saw that part. He had to translate it because he had asked it 3 times and the interpreter was failing to interpret it.
And we are
as he
getting
put
wrong
it.
answers. And we have been seeing that thing happening. The record has heard you asking it in English. It's okay. Murit in Zulu in your vernac.
Bypass the mess.
Exactly.
It's a mess. But he did say he's tired. I was like, okay, maybe it's because he's tired. Because there was a couple or a few mishaps that happened earlier on. But then I let them slide and be like, but he didn't say that. But
You see, the problem when Mpumelelo Dlamini, it's not whether they bring Uzungu or whether they want to bring the ballistic expert, whether they want to. The problem is just that whoever now that is going to come, the process of debunking has just begun. Muzi has fought his part. Now, whether it's Babu Absalom or whether it's Nako, whether it's
Kwabini. Whether it's Mabungu.
Whether it's Mabungu, kuyanyiwa. Yayibona nto le? Yayizwa ke ngoku? Kuyanyiwa. Whether it's Buthelezi himself.
There's one Buthelezi
that
brother
is still left.
That is still left.
Kuzonyiwa nje. Yabona ukuthi inkinga kuphi manje? MNISI doesn't need the whole SAPS department to come and testify. Whether they are going to bring Sbia, because that person announced outside that the scene was already tampered with.
And the incident took place around what time did he give? 5 p.m. What time did
it's
he
around
give?
those 6, something like that.
5, 6.
Yes.
Which is not 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock that the state is giving to the public there by the Senzo Meyiwa trial. It's very different.
Because when he comes there, he's going to want to redeem himself a bit also. He knows that part of the things of his problems
Started with this case.
it's this case.
The attention he drew.
That's why the states,
he
in
now
my opinion,
has.
did not bring him.
This case. This is the case that made us pay attention to General Sbia.
Exactly. We were minding our own
We were
business.
minding our business.
Before
honestly
John Wicker
speaking.
came,
Yeah.
the problem started with this case.
And then now we are here. And there's more stuff unraveling Kobo Madlanga and ad hoc and stuff.
So, things are not good at all. Young Tol? Not at all. Andiko right. Anva? Andiko right. So, the stretching is done. You can't undo it. It's done. The next witness must come, whether it's Makubo, whether
Buthelezi, Joyce
Indugu,
Buthelezi.
Eyasha, everywhere.
Those are the two investigators I want to see or hear testify. They've been through a lot.
So
I
now,
would like to hear that story.
That's a problem.
I'd like to hear that story.
That's why
because,
people
wow,
are throwing tantrums now.
They've been through a lot with this case.
It's
Oh my
happening.
God.
It's happening. People are throwing tins up now.
Yay.
They're up in the arms. They're fighting. Fighting for what?
Why
We
are you
don't know.
fighting? Why are you fighting? Whereas wavele waphapama wavuka when it's MNISI's turn now to re-examine his client. Wavuka ujudge. All this time he's been quiet. Baloyi has been doing whatever he wants. No direction, pointless cross-examination, going nowhere, very slowly. And he was just sitting there chilling. Writing. I don't know what he was writing. Maybe he's adjusting that judgment. Asas, maybe. But now that MNISI is on the stand now, hey, he's active. He has a lot to say. Look at the transformation.
You see the order that I think they are going to follow, that I would have followed if I was them.
Mm-hmm.
After MNISI, I would bring a ballistic expert.
To finish up.
And then a ballistic expert denounce a lot of things, and then the judge is still not happy. Then I will bring Absalom to say, my son was motivated by money on this. There was never such a thing. Zizokhala nje kamnandi. Ziza kahle ngolayini wena thulututu.
I can't wait.
Ziza nje
I've
kamnandi.
been waiting for this time for a very long time.
We've been.
After 3 years, mtakabawo. Ifilimu yaqala ke manje. Yaqala ifilimu.
People should face the music. Simple as that.
Yes.
No
and
one
I don't
is
want
gonna
to hear
get
pity for no one. Who
Eh.
had pity for Muzi Nontansi?
No one is gonna get away.
Pity ani.
No one is gonna get away with murder here.
It's been sad, miserable 6 years for 2 people in this case.
You have put people's life into a brick, like for 6.
A whole
goddamn
community in Mahlabatini and Nongoma is affected by this. Did you hear Absalom stating some of the things that were happening? You know, regarding what this son of his has done. It's not nice. And there were comments of people at the beginning when he came to testify that he's shaking up a whole community that was living peacefully together. He's just shaking it up. For what reason? His father says he wanted a promotion.
Which probably didn't come.
Was it worth it?
That's a question. That's a question.
Now that you've seen everything develop as far as it has, was it worth it really?
So ijambile manje. Ijarugile. Ijarugile manje because your protection, your everything. Yabona what is currently happening. Perfecto.
And a lot is developing.
Perfecto. And no one is gonna do crime now. No one knows usabisa abantu. Ayikhale nje. Fair and square. This is a fair fight now.
And you know what I'm more pleased with? I'm seeing police people that were trying to do the right thing are now coming out. Yes, their lives have not been easy. Okay, they've been terrorized, death threats, whatever you can name it. But they're coming out and they're saying their stories and they're saying their piece. And it's an interesting time. It's an interesting time to see them get their voices and given a platform to share the horror that they've been experiencing from their corrupt colleagues.
Then you hear people labanye who are banking a couple of thousands. You hear them who are in bigger positions, who are supposed to do their work properly. When they come to testify, you want to smack the TV. You like, is this person really getting paid through my hard-earned tax money that I work hard for? This person who doesn't even know what is going on with his own department that he's heading.
Usebenza nge-guesswork.
We are working with the guesswork.
He doesn't even know who he's supposed to report to. Kodwa ufuna i-promotion. Ufuna ukuphatha abantu. Kodwa he doesn't know what the specifications of his role
Esisekakeni.
Ubhasi makhulu ufuna ukuphatha wonke umuntu. Ava ayeqena ama-department ahambe kwi-department that he doesn't report to, that did not hire him. Ngiyayibona lento le. Senkingeni. Kodwa everything is coming to light and it's a good thing. It's a good thing because people have been suffering.
Whether something will happen or not, but what is important is that
Now we know.
the tree
Knowledge
has
is
been
power.
shaken.
Yes. Knowledge is
Now,
power.
when you go to courts, you know. So, I'm not worried about whether something's going to be done or what.
not. But
We
you
know that the goalpost is going to be shifted. Like
Knowledge is
now,
power.
what is currently happening. I wish I could talk about this woman who wants to go and boycott for this rent manipulation thing that even today we are still suffering from.
people don't understand, but
And then there is these organizations that wants to steal that day for their own useless, in my opinion, useless. Because it's not helping any black woman in South Africa. But we're not going to talk about that, right? Because we are not ready.
We're not ready for that conversation because people will get upset.
Imagine people coming all the way from other countries.
Germany.
They come here
Opening NGOs.
to tell us that they care about our own women.
I try.
A woman
to ask,
is saying, "Hi, Bo, let us fight for economy so that we
7
have these
rand
people, these
to the
men
dollar.
working, so that we have these men working, so that everything is fine."
The
No.
crime rate will
People would
reduce.
rather go fight for whatever that they're fighting for.
The crime rate
We
will
have given these
reduce.
NGOs power and they are controlling us. I'm telling you, they are controlling us through courts. They are controlling us through courts. These people have power and they have money. They have sponsors that are coming from different countries,
all over the world.
not South
They are
Africa.
up for grabs.
They get money funding from different countries, not South Africa.
And they are used as proxy to negotiate whatever needs negotiation. in
When they
your
want to
country.
make noise, you must know that something is being negotiated. In a sense, they are saying we will destabilize your country. We have people there that we have planted to destabilize your country. Is your mind at the right place?
We've infiltrated, we are in.
Is your mind at
So-
a right place? Nah, yes or no? Because the question, if you are going to follow just because you heard a word that has a G. You just follow.
Please research.
Do your research, man.
Please, guys.
Do your research.
Especially young women.
Who are these faceless
like myself.
people?
Please find out. what
Where
you're
are they when
supporting.
we go to townships and see? Like, for example,
research.
where were they when those 2 ladies were shot in Mamelodi? Did they say a word?
They just posted about this.
That's it.
Story.
Did they do anything?
Not that I know of.
Exactly. That's what they're good at. Then you follow that thing. Instead of us fighting for our economy, winning it back, have men that are working, less men that are angry.
Ish.
Then we can work, have our economy moving, go forward, healthy families. Because if there's money, then normally families are fine.
And you don't have to work 2 or 3 jobs because I feel like that's where we're going at this rate.
That's where we are at. We are late.
One person needs 2 or 3 jobs. One is not enough.
I see people posting colors and colors. I'm wondering, Mara, these people. There is one woman. What is the name of this woman who was fellowshipping on the certain church in Nigeria? who open
Kwanele
organization.
Foundation.
Yes, they are not supporting. They are not supporting that woman. They can never support that woman.
And she's always on social media talking about these issues.
They can never support that woman.
She's everywhere. Like, she's everywhere. She even is hosting a TV show there by Moja Lab. She needs a job when she should be running that NGO on a full-time basis. But black women are not coming through.
You know why?
Why?
Because she's black.
They would rather support.
And she's a real victim.
And she is a real victim.
They can never support a real victim.
They bash her. They say she's crazy. They call her all kinds of weird stuff.
Exactly. Then one no-name...
She has a
one
foundation.
No-face page comes, and then you don't ask
that
who are these
stories.
people.
The only thing they do is post stories. Sihle Sibisi will be there in court making noise to get a conviction, to get movement on a case by herself with no help sometimes. She's there, showing up.
These organizations are here to distract and destabilize us. And I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, take your time sometimes. Each organization, go around it and
just
look
research the
at
organization
the people who are
before
funding
you
it.
start.
And ask yourself, what business do these people have in South
in
Africa?
this country? What have they really actually done to assist people like me? What have they done? Do you see them
I was
in your
supporting
community?
that woman. I was supporting the woman who said, distract the G20, which is the right platform.
And then they took her idea and now it has become about them. And it's no longer about what that young lady started with the 7 rand to the dollar movement, saying disturb G20 so that we see the issues that are affecting South Africans. We are buying cars with overpriced prices.
We bought bonds with overpriced. And when people, those banks that manipulated the rent during the time of their manipulation, they were just slapped with some lousy amount. No reverse of things that were done. Nothing.
No.
So the cost of living is expensive. Maybe people don't understand the repercussion of the manipulation of the rent. What it does to us who buy things, the middle income earners, what it has, the multiple effect that it has, and it has been having since the time they decided to take law into their hands and say, we are going to manipulate the rent, or we are going to do this and that, we are going to... It affects us. But you won't see it. Life is expensive. It's because of that.
Groceries are expensive. Everything keeps increasing crazy because of what they did. And they're not being held accountable.
No. What, 20 million? Or how much did they pay?
They're just being given fines. And what really
it's not reversing the damage.
It's not doing anything.
It's not doing anything.
Because they benefited a whole lot more than that 20 million that they're being fined. And the thing is now
we're still benefiting
we're
even
having
today.
Challenges of having people who are able to quantify that since 2003 you've been manipulating the rand. What exactly, how much exactly did you steal or get away with?
But it's okay. We digress again. We've digressed. We're back. It's a story for another day.
Let's go back to
once you are ready to hear such things, then time will come. But I'm happy to see a lot of ladies who are really woke. Like
we've been used enough.
Like who's this lady in Twitter? Gwena
Molekwa.
Gwena is woke. Follow that woman.
Enough. Now I'm tired. I am tired of platforming narcissists. I am tired of making people relevant that shouldn't be relevant. And when you do not serve me, I don't think I I can waste my energy like that, because what is happening here, I am very disturbed by that young woman starting the 7 rand to the dollar movement and coming up with this.
And then all of a sudden
it
there
gets
are people
overshadowed by purple stuff, purple flags, purple profile pics. Now we've forgotten about her.
What she was
we're
saying.
even wondering how many people are going to show up for
Obvious,
that
they are
march.
going to be divided. People are going to be focusing on
Purple.
gang.
Why this particular timing? Why couldn't you just let this lady organize her march in peace?
South Africa. I'm happy that this is a lady who thought of this. Because
she's
it was
very
going to be
smart.
said. She's
Her
smart.
surname is Dube. I forgot her name. Dube. She's on TikTok. Guys, please go and follow her. You will learn so much. She's so knowledgeable about what is happening in politics all over Africa, all over South Africa.
And you also need to be aware. Because you see what politics is doing?
And she has a
Everywhere.
wonderful way of breaking everything down, which is not too complex. She is learned, but she simplifies the information, which is great. Okay, so yes, let's go back to Senzo Meyiwa trial. Let's hear what happened in court today. So when court resumed in the morning, Baloyi asked Muzi about the issue that he raised yesterday regarding the proposition that the bullet projectile that was found on the kitchen top was allegedly planted. He drew Sibia to the evidence of Colonel Mangena. He explained how the bullet point ended up behind the glass jars. And his evidence was that the deceased was probably standing behind the door and that the bullet hit the deceased, exited at the back and struck the door and deflected and ricocheted and ended up behind the glass jars on the cupboard top. Who still believes that theory? I remember people came for me that the glass jars did not even get damaged or moved or shifted or anything like that. But yeah, that's the theory that's there out in that court. And also, Sibia said that he knew nothing about what happened there and he knew nothing about Senzo's death and he cannot comment on what Mangena said. He was not there.
Laura is asking the name of a woman.
It's Dube. Let me quickly look her up. I'm following her there by the TikTok. I will need to search it, guys, because, yeah. But I know her surname is Dube. I caught the surname. It's just that I forgot her name, but I can find her now. Let me just look for her.
Dube.
Amani Dube. Amani Dube. AMANI Dube. Yes, I caught the surname. AMANI Dube, D-U-B-E. So she's brilliant when it comes to dissecting all these African economic issues. So if you want to be clued up on those news, please follow her. She has an interesting way of breaking them down on a daily basis. Yeah, love her content very much. So yes, Amani Dube. That's the person you should be following, especially if you're a woman. Okay? Please, you need to understand what's going on in the world.
Thank you. Pulane, thank you very much, man. God bless you.
Thank you, Pulani. And then there's Baloyi who said, you still maintain that you don't know accused number 5. And Sibia said, what I said was that accused number 5 is my cousin. And then Baloyi said, so you now concede that he is your cousin. And, you know, and in my head, I'm thinking, oh my God, he's asking this question like Sibia denied that accused number 5 was his cousin before. I'm like, when did he deny him? He's never denied him before. Well, Sibia said that when the prosecutor is saying I'm conceding, what does he mean? Because I'm the one who disclosed that number 5 was my cousin. So Baloyi then said this confirms the proposition that was put by Advocate MNISI during cross-examination of Colonel Steyn on the 31st of July 2023, where MNISI said that Mr. Mncube said he does indeed know Mr. Mabungu Ntuli because they were staying together, and Mr. Mabungu Ntuli was accused number 5's uncle, and accused number 5 would come and visit Magistrate Mr. Mabunguntuli. During the cross-examination of Sizwe Zungu on the 7th of September 2023, Zungu said he asked Gwabeni, and then Gwabeni took out the phone. He thought he was calling, but he did not know who he was calling. He would not say as to who was there and who was not there. The others were already out. They kept on calling and they said that they were not answering their phones. He then came in and spoke to someone. He thinks that that person is related to accused number 4. And then he said Mzala as he was answering his phone. So Zungu said he thinks that he was referring to accused number 5. Baloyi then said all this just underscores that accused number 5 is your cousin, as you have acceded to. And then Sibia said, no, it does not align. He said, I, Moses Sibia, am saying that accused number 5 is my cousin. Myself, not to say that I'm speaking for someone else. I'm not speaking for Gwabeni. I'm saying myself, number 5 is my cousin. He's saying himself out of his own mouth, as him, as the person. He's saying it's his cousin, right? So he said if the prosecutor is going to say that Gwabeni is, what Gwabeni is saying, he's talking about his cousin. He's talking about accused number 5. He said he doesn't know where he gets that information from because Gwabeni has his own aunts who have children he refers to as cousins, Sabo Mzala, and he has his own cousins. And he says that he has his own uncles as well, aunts and uncles. So as to why the prosecutor is saying that it is number 5, he doesn't know where he gets it. Gwabeni must come and state as to when he said cousin, who was he referring to? Not for the prosecutor to speculate that he meant this particular person. He said, we're not sure as to what Gwabeni calls accused number 5, a cousin or what. Hey, Muzi is sharp. Because another thing is that why did he come to the determination that just because he is Muzi's cousin, then it means it must be Gwabeni's cousin? Without understanding the relationship.
You see, the issues of KZNs are very complicated.
It was his job to probe the relationship.
They are very complicated.
To even understand, you could say, what do you mean when you say he's your cousin? Or what do you mean when you say he's your brother? Your brother how? But he, of course, he's not going to do that. But I then said we are going to quote the evidence of Mr. Zungu. But be that as it may, we previously referred you to the section 205 of your number of 0793790137. And he said we put it to you that the cell phone records indicate that from the 4th of September 2019 until the 21st of September 2019, your device made contact with Wesselton Tower in Mpumalanga. And also from the 26th of September 2019 up until the 21st of December 2019, we indicated this in the context of Constable Zungu's evidence that you indicated to him that at some point that you were in Mpumalanga. So Baloyi asked questions about Sibia's alleged phone that pinged at a tower in Mpumalanga back in 2019. Mind you, this is not 2014 even. The reason why maybe he's hammering on this point because he wants to connect accused number 1 with Zungu. Zungu's testimony. Sibia said, I'm repeating this again. I have never been to Mpumalanga. Secondly, Pinky Faintelengem did not testify about my phone in the witness stand. I have never stayed in Mpumalanga. I live in Gauteng. If I'm not here, then I would be back home in Mahlabatini. This is very interesting. Exactly why didn't Pinky Faintelengem go through accused number 1's cell phone records? I also don't recall her doing that. Do you guys remember? I didn't recall it. The main focus was that of accused number 3. I don't remember them dissecting accused number 1's cell phone records. The common ones I heard was 3 and 5. So Baloyi said that is what your cell phone records reveal. And you can see even Advocate Baloyi didn't deny this or, support it or whatever. He just ignored him like what he said was not significant. Vele, why wasn't Pinky and Telengem going through Sibia's cell phone records. Well, Sibia said, like I have stated, that I have never stayed in Mpumalanga, not once. I only pass by Mpumalanga when I leave Johannesburg for home. He said he passes by Forecast going and coming back from Gauteng to KZN. So the interpreter now added something there that I found very disturbing. He said that he would drive past Mpumalanga. I'm like, when did he say he drives or he drives past? So Baloyi asked if he can explain why his number made contact with Wesselton Tower in Mpumalanga for the periods he had mentioned. And on the 4th of September 2019 until the 21st of September 2019, it's a period of 17 days. And then he said from the 26th of September 2019 up until the 21st of December, the period was 84 days or about 84 days. And he said that Sibia was there in Mpumalanga for those time periods, right? And you have to recall that he was arrested at around May 2019, April or May of 2019. He was arrested for the first time, and that is where he said there was a meeting with General Sibia and Makubu and everyone else, and Zungu was also there. So in Zungu's testimony, there's a part where he said he visited, he told him that he would visit Mpumalanga. But it's quite interesting that in Mpumalanga now he's there for 84 days and 17 days. It's quite a lengthy time. And it's around September to December. So it's a quite interesting time. So also provided that Pinkifa and Tilengem didn't go through the cell phone, it's a very interesting. Well, Sibia said that he's repeating this. He never resided in Mpumalanga. If the prosecutor said I should explain why it shows Mpumalanga, I know that my phone does not show Mpumalanga. So Sibia is denying this, is denying that he ever been to Mpumalanga or that he ever left his phone in Mpumalanga or he ever stayed for 84 and 17 days in Mpumalanga. He's saying that none of that ever happened. The person who they can ask that can come and explain as to why Mpumalanga is a person who compiled that data, because he's never stayed in Mpumalanga. Even Pinky, when she came to testify, she never testified about my phone. This is Bia repeating this again. Baloyi revealed accused number 5's bank records from Nedbank, which showed the address that he gave as Mr. Ntuli F, 5478 Zone 14 Wesseltown in
So because editing
Emelo.
perhaps was supposed to happen on the downloader. Now, Pinky's, if it was read, it was going to create problems.
Well, CBS said the only person that can talk about this is Mr. Ntuli. He said, I know nothing about this address. I have already indicated that I've never lived in Mpumalanga. And Baloyi then asked him, were you not sharing an address in Wesseltown? And Sibia said, no, I've already indicated that I was staying in Vosloorus, then went back home and came back to live with my uncle in Tembisa. I've never stayed in Mpumalanga. And Baloyi then asked him, in the cross-examination by the lawyer of accused number 4, another name that came up was Spiva Ntuli. Do you know the person? And Sibia said yes. And they asked him how he knew him, and Sibia said he was his uncle, or he is his uncle. Sibia said Spiva has since passed away after Baloyi asked him where he lived or resided. So Sibia saying that he passed away, and he also said that it is the uncle that he actually used to stay with in Tembisa. So he's the same uncle that he was staying with when they arrested him. So Baloyi then said, how does Spiva Ntuli relate to Mabungu Ntuli? And Sibia said that, as he said, that Spiva was his uncle and Mabungu is also his uncle. They were born of the same father, or they are sharing the same father. And then Baloyi asked, do you know if Spiva and Mabungu know accused number 3? And Sibia said, no, he has no knowledge of that. Baloyi then said, you testify that you know accused number 4 is your uncle from your maternal side. Well, Sibia said, I said accused number 4 is from my maternal side. He never said that it's his uncle, though. He never said that. He said they are related through maternal side of the family. Then Baloyi showed photos from accused number 3's phone, and he said Sibia should tell him if he identifies people that he knows in the photos. Ngumalo asked for the photo numbers that they be labeled. He's saying that the photos that they were using, the state was using, were not numbered. So Baloyi said that he will number them at a later stage. However, the judge said he must number them as he goes through them. Well, Sibia said he would not be able to go through the photos. The only person he would be able to identify is himself in a photo, because he knows himself. He would not know about the others and how they look like in photographs. He must also see, he also said that he must also see that if I'm in those photos, then I will answer. But if I'm not in those photos, I'm not going to do it. As for identifying other people, he said he won't be able to, because the phone is not even his and it belongs to accused number 3. And he said, like I said, even accused number 3, I did not know him. I only knew him from the first time that I saw him in Boxback. He said he cannot talk about things on his phone or of his phone. He said he's the one on the witness box and he's here to testify about himself, and he's not here to speak for someone else or to point or to. He said that when he took an oath upon himself, right? So Baloyi said you can merely state whether you recognize any of the persons on the photo. Here's the tricky thing here. Should he have participated in that charade and shenanigans, Baloyi was going to come back and say, because he was able to identify them in those photos, it means he was there, even without a photo. So Sibia is tired of these games. And I honestly feel like for him to even be let go today is because he refused to participate in this madness.
Good move.
Because had he said, yes, I see on that picture, it is accused number 3, you know what would have happened?
You were there. That's why you can recognize
He
them.
was going to go through 4,000 pictures. If they are 4,000 or 20 or 2, I don't know how many pictures he got. He was going to go through every single one of them, which was going to probably take the rest of this week. And as they are going through the pictures, he's finding new stuff. He's finding new information. And then, so Sibia just said, you know what? I'm not going to testify about these pictures. And good for him. Good for him. So Sibia said that it was difficult to point someone from a picture. He said it's easier to point a person in person. Sibia said that since there is accused number 3, the owner of the phone, the question would be better posed to him. He said it'd be lying identifying a person in the photo as a particular person, and then when the owner arrives on the witness stand, they say that it's somebody else because other people have similar features. He said that if you are born of the same mother and not able to distinguish them, when you come to Pretoria, you see a person who's similar to a person that you saw maybe in Tembisa, you tell yourself that it's one person, although while it's different people, 2 different people. So he asked if he's able to identify Mabungu on the picture or accused number 3, and Sibia refused. He utterly refused. He requested for Baloyi to ask him clear, direct questions, because Baloyi kept asking him if he recognizes anyone in the photos. This went on pretty much for a couple of minutes. So Sibia said no to testifying on accused number 3's photos in a nutshell. So Baloyi said it's already admitted on the photos that it's accused 4 and 5, and he asked if Sibia could recognize them. Well, Sibia said no, he was unable to, since they are in court, they are best suited to identify themselves. Well, MNISI said he doesn't intend to stall. He stood up at this point because he could see that this is tiring. Akafuna ukutestify ngama-picture, you keep insisting. But he said that a court gave a specific directive to Advocate Ngumalo. He was addressing that issue of them numbering these pictures as they go through them. Seems Advocate Baloyi had forgotten to do that. He said we need to number these photos as they are being beamed there, so we don't know what photo number is this. In any event or follow-up, the state says it's already on record that it is accused number 5 and 3. He says, so I don't know what is the relevance for accused number 1 to still confirm that. It's already on record. The judge said it's not the record that he identified them. And he looked very upset when he was saying this. So the judge is saying that he wanted Sibia to identify them on record, or he said it's not on record that he did not identify them in the photos. So he was encouraging this exercise by Advocate Baloyi. And he came back to it after the short adjournment, this very same exercise. So Baloyi moved to Brigadier Gininda's testimony that there are different factors of what is contained to its confessions, and the pointings out, firstly, that both statements contain the same information as in the pointing out. Sibia still maintained that he did not make that statement, and they should ask Gininda, Mboto, and Hadebe about those statements. They were the ones who were in contact with Gininda. So Baloyi said reference was made to a traditional healer, Mkulu, and Sibia said they should ask Gininda, Hadebe, and Mboto because he doesn't know the traditional healer, and even the traditional healer doesn't know him. Remember, there was a moment where Ubabulai Nzwani was asked to identify amongst the 5 accused who Sibia, the Sibia he was talking about, and he said he couldn't see him. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
So Baloyi repeated the evidence of Mkulu yet again, and Sibia still maintained that he never went to consult the Sangoma, and said that they should ask Gininda and Mboto and Hadebe. Sibia said that Gininda is the one who told him about a person who had dreadlocks at Vosloorus. Baloyi said that Gininda said in Sibia's confession there's mention of a white polo. The evidence they have is a silver polo, so he's close to describing the right car. But a different color. He said the grey polo is associated with accused number 5. He said it's a vehicle that was used during the commission of this offense, and it was driven by accused number 5. Sibia said that there's no confession or statement that he did. There's no car that he ever talked about to Gininda, Mboto, or Hadebe. He never spoke of a polo or any car. He said he knows nothing about this, and he can ask Gininda, Mboto, and Hadebe. So this is very interesting because now the color of this polo keeps changing. In Sibia's alleged confession, it's white. In the alleged pointing out stuff, it's white. And you can recall that Sibia's statement was taken in 2020, May, the 5th of May and the 30th of May, right? And then now you have Zungu coming in and saying it was grey or silver. And Zungu's statement was taken in 2023. The original one, the so-called original one that he said he made in 2020, never made it to court. The one that made it to court was done during the trial as the trial was ongoing. Mr. Matlo also came to testify, and he testified it around 2023 as well, I think after Zungu came to testify. And he said the grey silver polo was hired out in 2016. And there's a white polo that was being driven in 2015 by accused number 5. But he hired out a polo. I think it was for a couple of days in 2016. While he said he knows nothing about this, he can ask Gininda, Mboto, and Hadebe. While Baloyi said Mr. Matlowi, the INATIS expert, testified about 2 infringement notices that were issued to Mr. Fisoguhle. The first one was issued on the 9th of February 2016. It was a Volkswagen Polo hatchback. The color was white. Sibia said that this is based on accused number 5. And he's in court. He's the one who can state as to whether that car is his or not. And Baloyi said a white polo is mentioned in the confession and the pointing out. Sibia said he knew nothing. He made no statement or confession. They should ask Gininda or Mboto. Baloyi said the second infringement occurred on the 20th of March 2016. The vehicle was a Volkswagen Polo grey in color driven by Mr. F. Ntuli, and Sibia said the person who can confirm or deny this is Ntuli himself. Sibia said he knew nothing about the prosecutor or what the prosecutor was asking him. He's not Ntuli, he is Moses Sibia. So Mshololo said that accused number 5, this is Advocate Baloyi now stating Mshololo's evidence, and he said that accused number 5 was going to come and tell the court that he hired the grey polo for 2 days in 2016, 2 days, and not in 2014. This happened on the 25th of March 2024, and he said that the color of the polo is silver. So Sibia said he knew nothing. As Ms. Mshololo says, that accused number 5 will come to the witness box, not accused number 1. As she says, accused number 5. Okay, he's the one who will come and testify. Nowhere did Mshololo include accused number 1. He said he doesn't know nothing about that. Well, Baloyi said that you mentioned a Volkswagen Polo in both exhibits, and Sibia said, I'm still stating that I never made any statement. I never spoke of a Polo or any vehicle. I did not make any statement. So after the short adjournment, Advocate Baloyi started with the record of the proceedings of the 18th of October 2024, where Gininda said accused number 1 was driving a grey Volkswagen Polo silver or grey in color on the day of the incident, and he said that other witnesses would come to back up this claim. The state is done with their case now. Those witnesses did not come after Brigadier Gininda testified. The only, unless if he's talking about Zungu, but Zungu testified before he testified. So Sibia said, just as I've said that I don't know anything, I was at the home states, there's nothing I know here. Well, Baloyi said reference to the evidence of Zungu that Brigadier Gininda is referring to is found on the 7th of September 2023, where Zungu testified that accused number 5 asked a certain gentleman to ask him to give away because he parked right behind him, so that he could have just reverse, he needed space to reverse, and he did that and went back inside. Then the state asked if he saw the kind of vehicle he was driving. Zungu said it was a grey Polo hatchback, and Sibia said he repeated he doesn't know anything about what is written in there, and he's stating it yet again that he was never with the co-accused. Even Zungu and all these people that are spoken of on that day, they are stated. Well, Baloyi went on record of the 18th of October 2024, where Brigadier Gininda said that the photos that were taken when he was doing this corroboration were taken into account in relation to a document. He said it's confirmation that Muzi pointed to the crime scene as per the notes he gave Colonel Hadebe. Baloyi said, and a further point that Brigadier Gininda mentioned was that he sees the corroboration. He seemed to recall that some of the witnesses referred to had 3 gunshots, although the ballistic expert found 2 physical evidence, but he seemed to recall some statements referring to 3. What is also common, he said, is that accused number 1 positioned himself outside the house, as he said in the confession that was made to Colonel Mboto. To me, to this day, it still shocks me how Ntabiseng was sitting with a friend of hers in a car for quite some time, and just a few steps away, they could have possibly seen if any of this ever took place, and no mention of that in Ntabiseng's statement. Right. So Sibia said everything that is written here, the person you can ask is Gininda, Mboto, and Hadebe. Well, Sibia said that there was no statement that he wrote. There was nothing he narrated. There was no sound of a gun that he heard. He doesn't know where the gunshots went off and how. There was no way where he stood outside on the lookout at the scene of the crime. Even Hadebe, he said there's nothing that he did with Hadebe out of his own free will. Even when he was shooting and telling him to point down, that was Hadebe's will. There's nothing he knows about that. The people you can ask, he said, is Gininda, Mboto, and Hadebe about what is written in there. Well, Baloyi said furthermore that the shots were discharged after a struggle between Marco and Mr. Senzo Meyiwa when he refused to hand over the cell phone. And then Marco took out the firearm and shot Mr. Senzo Meyiwa. Well, Sibia said, I repeat, I know nothing about Senzo's death. As to who shot him and how, I don't know anything. You ask Gininda because he's the one who has knowledge about this. Well, Baloyi went back to the photos and said that during the proceedings of 24th of July 2024, where Advocate Ngumalo said his colleagues Advocate MNISI also referred one of the photos, and it confirmed that that photo was taken. He was with accused number 3. I think they're talking about that synonymous photo of accused 3 and 4. But the pictures were taken back in 2014 with the cell phones we were using back then. Even now, when I look at my old pictures from around that period in time, they are very blurry. Technology has improved so much that I'm not happy with the quality of those pictures from back then. But yeah, they were blurry. Back then, technology had not evolved to this point where now we're having 4K images and stuff. So he said it was the version of accused number 4, and it was taken on the 26th of October 2014 at 11:52. They were at Sprayt at Mazibuko Hostel when that photo was taken by Mabungu Ntuli. He also wished to confirm the assertion that was put on the cross-examination of Ms. Vaintelengem. He said he also wished to confirm the assertion which was put by Advocate MNISI for accused number 3, and he instructed him that when that photo was taken, it was on the 26th of October 2014 at 11:52, and they were at Mazibuko Hostel when that photo was taken in the company of accused number 3, and the person who was taking that photo was Mabungu Ntuli. So that is the photo that, according to the state's version, they've placed them at Basutung Hostel in that photo, but they are saying that they were actually at Mazibuko Hostel, and the photo also has a timestamp of 11:52 on the 26th of October 2014. So Sibia said that here it is written accused number 3, but the prosecutor wrote with a pen and said it's accused number 4. Hi, music, and this writing with a pen situation, he's on it. And he's saying here it is written Mapungu Ntuli. Mapungu, and the prosecutor has written with a pen that it's Mabungu. He said, I don't know that since he wrote with a pen, I don't know where he got Mapungu from, or Mabungu from particular, because Mabungu is the one that was written with a pen. The typed letters were written Mabungu. So he said, because it's written Mabungu Ntuli, I don't know whether we should trust the record or what is said by the prosecutor when he says what is typed is wrong, whether he's the one saying the right thing or it's the record. He said, I don't know who to answer to. It is Mabungu or Mabungu Ntuli. But he said to him that he's accusing Sibia of having a tendency of detracting from the question that they consulted. He was saying that Sibia is now detracting from the question. I don't see how him being... You should proffer an explanation. You wrote with a pen on the paper. You must explain yourself that this is handwritten because so and so and so and so. So when he has a question as to why is everything else typed and printed with a computer or printed with a printer, and then you come in with your pen and you just erase stuff and you write other things there, it's just wrong. It's not right, and I think he knows it, but at the same time he wants to spin this on Mr. Sibia and make it his fault. Well, Baloyi said that he from the question that they consulted Advocate Nxumalo just to make sure that the information was correct. This is after consultation with Advocate Nxumalo. He said, and the question for you is, do you recognize the persons in the photos? That is the question. Well, the interpreter said Sibia was running away from answering the question. Sibia responded to this, okay? He said, the prosecutor is saying that I'm running away from answering questions because he brought this to me written in a pen. That is why I'm asking as to, him writing in a pen. What does it mean? He is the one who spoke to Nxumalo, not myself. Well, the interpreter also did not interpret that Baloyi said he spoke to Nxumalo. And Sibia said, I'm asking if the prosecutor is arguing with the record. Or he's denying what is written in the record. Well, Baloyi said, I've just informed you that we corrected the record after consulting Advocate Nxumalo. Now answer the question. Do you know the person depicted in the photo? Well, Sibia said, like I said, it is hard to speak, to these photos. He said he doesn't see them clearly, and he doesn't see clearly who's in the photos. The person who can speak on the photos was there when they were taken, and that is accused number 3. He's the one who can state who is who in those pictures, and he's the one who knows. That is his phone. Well, Baloyi said we'll try and put up a clearer picture. There was a moment of silence there as he was setting that picture up, and he said the persons are accused 3, 4, and asked Sibia if he is able to recognize them in the photo. While Sibia said he cannot see who is who in that picture. Baloyi then went to another photo, and that occasion was identified during the proceedings of the 24th of July 2024 during cross-examination of Ms. Fine-Dillingham. Advocate MNISI during cross-examination put the following on record. MNISI said that the photo was taken on the 26th of October 2014 at around 17:28:39. His instructions are that when this photo was taken, it was 2 people appearing there. They were identified as accused 3 and 5 at George Koch. So 17:39 is around the estimation time that everyone, the 7 people that were in the house were there at the Spaza house, right? Maybe Longwe had not arrived yet or anything like that, but they were there, right? Maybe I can exclude Longwe. But they were there at the crime scene. 17:28:39, Advocate MNISI saying they were at George Koch, according to the pictures, right, that they took. So he asked Sibia if he was able to identify the person in the photo, and Sibia said he cannot see who it is in the picture because he was not even there at that place. In my opinion, this felt like a trap. I felt like it was just some kind of weird trap that Advocate Baloyi wanted to use as he's gathering his circumstantial evidence to say that Sibia, later on he was going to say he was able to identify them, so it means he was with them on that night. Stranger things have happened in that court, okay? Stranger things. So Baloyi said the following proposition was put by Advocate Nxumalo to Ms. Fine-Dillingham during cross-examination, when Nxumalo said the person wearing a cap on the other side of the vehicle instructed him that it is accused number 4. Well, Sibia said that he was listening, but he's the one who can comment on that. It's him. He said, I don't see, and I was also not there. Baloyi went to the proceedings as well of the 3rd of October 2023, where Advocate Nxumalo was cross-examining Zungu. He said his instructions by accused number 4 was that the person appearing in accused 3 is accused 3 and Mabungu Ntuli. Sibia confirmed that Mabungu Ntuli was indeed his uncle. Baloyi asked if he was able to identify him in the red t-shirt in the photo over there. Sibia refused. He said, just like I said, people can look similar and indistinguishable. The person who can be in a position to positively identify and say that that is definitely Mabungu is accused number 3, who was present when the photo was being taken, because he says he was not there. There are people who look like Mabungu that you can say that is Mabungu. So I'm not in a position to say that that is Mabungu or not. Well, Sibia said in Zulu, there's a saying that says, Abantu bambala wenkomo. Okay, it's an idiom in Zulu. I don't know what it means. Okay, Mr. Anonymous took a body break. He's supposed to come here and explain to me what this means. But you guys can tell me in the comments what that means. Abantu bambala wenkomo. And there could be someone, he said there could be someone who's very similar to another, and they are from different tribes. Another person could be Bedi, or another person could be Zulu, and they actually look alike. And yes, I've seen such circumstances, or I've seen such situations where people who completely are from different worlds, and they look alike. He said it's only accused 3 who can explain who is in that picture because he was not there. Baloyi asked if the person in the picture had similar features as Mabungu Ntuli. Sibiya said, I can say he looks like him. Then accused number 3 comes and says something completely different, that is actually not Mabungu but someone else. He said he doesn't want to say something that he doesn't have evidence of. So Baloyi then said, according to the proposition we've put to you, accused 3 is appearing with Mabungu Ntuli, your uncle. Are you still saying that you don't know accused number 3? Well, Sibiya said he's still saying he doesn't know accused number 3, even though he says it's Mabungu. Many people are known by Mabungu, according to him, that he even doesn't know those people that do know Mabungu. And he even made an example of, yes, as I know you, the prosecutor, it does not mean that I know people who know you, like who know the prosecutor. I started knowing accused 3 at Boksburg when we attended for this matter. And Baloyi then asked him on the 24th of July 2024 during cross-examination by Advocate Nxumalo. He referred to several people who were in a bus, a Kumbi, that traveled to Lesedi. And he said that at the time accused 3 was traveling in this particular Kumbi and he was renting a room at the house in the corner of Jewels and Sintle Streets in Johannesburg. The occupants of this minibus Kumbi who had arrived at this place of residence was accused number 3, Mr. Mncube, Mabungu Ntuli, Scelimpilo Ndawonde, Spiva Ntuli, Linda Dlamini, and Skalo Gianni. And he said, you've already said Spiva Ntuli and Mabungu Ntuli are your uncles. Before you comment on their additions in ink, because already there were already handwritings there correcting the names of these people. Advocate Nxumalo, he said he consulted with him on those names. So according to accused 3, or accused number 3, he was in the company of your uncles, Mabungu Ntuli and Spiva Ntuli. And Sibiya said he agrees when he says accused number 3 was with his 2 uncles. He said his 2 uncles are the ones who know accused number 3. He doesn't know them. He doesn't know him. He doesn't know accused number 3 in particular. He says he saw him for the first time in Boksburg. And there are people that are known, he said, by his uncles that he doesn't know, right? Just like there are people, that know that he knows that they don't know him. And he said that as my name is not here to indicate that I was there, it shows that I don't know accused number 3. And in the pictures from way back in 2014, Sibiya is not appearing in those photos. When he keeps referencing photos of accused number 1, my apologies, not accused 3, accused number 1, he's talking about the ones that were downloaded from his cell phone from 2019, 2018. So Baloyi then said, finally, Mr. Sibiya, we put it to you that there is no new evidence since the trial within a trial regarding the allegations of assault. Now he pulled up occurrence books from Valeria Police Station, Diepkloof Police Station, Alberton Police Station. He says that those occurrence books indicate that he doesn't have any injuries. And you think after what happened in the Rodolphe Krecha's trial within a trial, right, the case, you think they would still let occurrence books record injuries? In my opinion, you must be joking. You must be joking. So he's saying that the occurrence book, because they are saying no injuries. And remember, some of the entries were made by Mohani, who was the one transporting accused number 1. And one has to mention that, you know what, should this case turn out in a verdict that favors the police or the state, it's going to have educated or sharpened this thing. Because we can see with Rodolphe and Krecha what had happened. An occurrence book gave them away. But it wasn't the same investigating team. It was the investigating teams of Rodolphe and Krecha's case. But now we have Brigadier Kininda from that case. He testified in that case. And now, with seeing what happened in that case, do you think he was going to not emphasize that occurrence books must be inspected? If you can enter it yourself, then might as well just. I'm not saying he did that, but I'm thinking with the experience you've had where you lost a child within a trial because of an occurrence book entry, I doubt that you're going to miss a step when it comes to that. So that's the situation here, and it kind of is scary that all the loopholes and the mistakes that were made with Bontanzi and Muzi, what happens next? What happens when people are arrested like them? How is that going to affect how they execute, so that they are not left wondering like they are left wondering currently in court? I'm kind of scared of that. So hopefully justice prevails. So Sibiya said, going back to what he said 2 or 3 weeks ago, he was assaulted from the 30th, and he was assaulted at Tembisa, Vosloorus and Diepkloof. The police are the ones who wrote for themselves what they wanted to write. And he said that he was assaulted. He said, I can still show you the marks where I was hurt. And notice how the judge is not interested in observing those marks. He's not. He usually has his hand looking at whatever his head looking at whatever he's writing. He doesn't even want to see them. So he said they're still visible even in 2025. He said, I even told this court that my body was in pain at Alberton. They took me from Valeria to Vosloorus to assault me once more. He said, I still have the scars. I was injured because I was assaulted. And in 2020, May 30th, even now, the scars are still visible. Baloyi said that nothing new has merged into the trial. On the entries, they show that there were no injuries. Okay, so Sibiya then says, still today the prosecutor can come and see where I was injured. In the trial within a trial, I stated that I was assaulted. Even now, I'm still maintaining that I was assaulted. Those scars are still visible. And Baloyi said that they had covered the aspects that they wanted to converse with the witness. So after the long adjournment, Baloyi couldn't wait for accused number 1 to return to the stand, in my opinion. He was already informing the judge that they had concluded the cross-examination of Mr. Sibiya, and he was also updating the judge about one issue that had to stand down. The issue was around those OB entries that the counting included Mr. Sibiya. And there was an issue there that happened a couple of days ago while he was cross-examining Mr. Sibiya, because he was saying that in the occurrence books, it's saying that 2 prisoners are there. So how do they know that he's also counted amongst those 2 prisoners? Because he was kept in a single cell by himself, alone. Okay? So Baloyi said that they initiated the original cell register, and what is left is that they are looking for someone to put an interpretation to the cell register from Valeria Police Station, And this is quite interesting because they were able to do that. They are able to call on police officers to come and testify and back up their evidence. However, they can't call people from the bank to come and interpret these statements. Mr. Anonymous, we have one of our Mzansi reality family members who let us know yesterday what a microbalance actually means.
Yeah, it's how can I put it? It's a...
It shows swiping that occurred with your card at a store, according to a Mzansi reality family member.
It's one of those things, man. I don't think, because I look at it, it is not fixed. There is part of it like that. I think there's more into it.
So Mr. Baloyi yesterday said that it means you entered inside the bank and you made a withdrawal inside the bank. That's what he said. So now, why are you not calling people from the bank? Why? Because now this could be a misnomer,
You could. Good.
Well, the judge was now changing Sibiya's version. Sibiya said that he was not certain if they included him in the counting of those 2 or 3 inmates that they recorded in the current books. They wrote to those entries, but the judge is now saying that his version is that they were counted. He was alone in the whole prison. And I'm like, when did he say that? He's saying that he was not counted.
Prison, or wasn't it
the whole
on the holding
prison?
cells?
He was talking about the cell that he was kept in. Because I even remember at some point he was being asked whether they passed CSC. Sibiya said he couldn't see CSC. I don't know how many of you guys recall that evidence. He said he couldn't see CSC. So there's a possibility that they used another entrance to take him to the cell, or the particular cell that they would take him to. And then maybe Mohani would go alone to fill in that occurrence book by himself. This is a speculation that I'm making up in my head. So now the judge is making it seem like Sibiya was aware of how many prisoners were in the entire police station. Or how many you don't even call them prisoners. They are not prisoners yet. What do you call them? They're not even awaiting trial. You just got arrested. When you just got arrested, you're taken to a police station, right? They're in jail. It's not yet prison.
Yeah.
But he said that
in the holding cells, yeah.
Yeah, in the holding cells. So he's saying that, no, Sibiya is saying that he was the only one in that entire police station. And I don't remember Sibiya saying that in his evidence. Well, Baloyi said that he was alone in the cell, and he was held in, and no one visited those cells to come and check on him. Remember, they had created this whole other thing that, according to the police, they check on the cellmates every hour or something like that. Well, the judge said that he asked if he was there or not there, and Baloyi said that he was there. Well, the judge now said, and he says they never counted him. Baloyi said, yes, that's his point. And then the judge said, yeah, but you can't place that information on record through him. If it shows, what should be interpreted as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he wanted Baloyi to revisit this part of evidence and reopen it again and have Sibiya put on record that every hour there was nobody who came to check on him. That will all be fine and well, but in the occurrence books now, there's a glitch, because the name of the cellmates, their names are not mentioned. Their names are not mentioned. So how are they going to know who's who? Who are they talking about? So Baloyi then said their entries show that there were cell visits and the number of prisoners in a particular cell. What the number of prisoners of that particular cell was, and the accused said he doesn't remember anyone visiting the cells. So the judge asked him if there are names of the particular officers who allegedly made these cell visits, and Baloyi said that there are names. And then the judge said, you are saying that because you've closed your case, you can't place it on record. Baloyi said, it's on record already. We've placed it on record. Can't we show Mr. Sibiya the names of the guys who signed there? Baloyi said that they did show him, but they can once again show him the names of the people who visited those cells. Well, MNISI then came in and said, my lord, this is improper, very improper. Bengathi kune guidance happening. fixing. You know, when your teacher helps you to correct your notes and where you went wrong, correction. That was the vibe it was giving.
Yeah.
And he said, because the state is trying to explain an objection that was raised by me on behalf of Mr. Sibia, because from the record, the OB entries are to the effect that when the cell visitations were made, not even the counting, they would find 2 people in the cell. And in some alternative occasions, they would find 3 people in the cells. So at some point, as the state went through those OB entries at some stage, he stood up and raised the point that does it mean that those 2 or 3 people that are mentioned by those officers who visited the cell, do these people also include Mr. Sibia? Then there was an impasse. Then the state said, no, it's fine. They will bring a cell register. They bought it some time ago. They were trying to go through it. And then he said he doesn't know what happened afterwards. Well, it gets very improper for the court to say, but not show Mr. Sibia that before he could finish, the judge was already in, cutting him, and he said, no, don't say it. Gets very improper for the court to say that, please. MNISI said, it does, my lord. And the judge said, it does not. I want to understand. Did he give you the vibes that he was wanting to understand? This case has made me watch cases I wouldn't typically watch. Now, when these other cases are happening, I'm watching. And I'm watching judges seek clarity. I think I even made an example with Sibia's. I did a whole video on it with Sibia's case where he was appealing to go back to work. I saw those judges, those 3 bench judges, and how they were interacting. They were honestly seeking clarity. That's the picture I have in my head of seeking clarity. But to go on and tell the prosecutor, do this, do that, giving him instructions. And then you say it's for your own understanding. It looks like you understand, my lord. You understand. You are very deliberate. Well, MNISI said that in his respectful view is that it does, because this is an introduction of new evidence through the court, my lord, and that is not permissible. The judge said, I want to understand, because that is why I brought the cell register. What is the duty of that cell register? It seems like it's more like you telling him what to do. That's the vibe it's giving. And then MNISI said he just explained, and then the judge is like, it's not for you to explain, it's for the state to explain. Well, MNISI said the state does not explain the facts as they occurred, which is the reason why I said, let me explain the facts as they occurred. The judge asked Baloyi why he bought the register, and Baloyi explained. He gave the similar explanation to what MNISI had prior explained. Well, the judge said, do they write the physical names of the person in the cell? Well, Baloyi said, no, only the numbers. Yeah, La Pancha Itaya. And then the judge said, so we can leave it at that. It's common sense. If he wasn't there, then it's fine. He wasn't there. This is when it started going left.
Things started changing.
Well, MNISI started with his re-examination, and he started off by asking Mr. Sibia, you have mentioned many times in your cross-examination that without the AVL, which would indicate or show the movements of the motor vehicles of the police who were with you on various occasions when the police were there with you, the court would not have a clear picture of the movement of those motor vehicles. Is that not so? Baloyi objected and said it's a clearly leading question, and it put the answer in the mouth of the accused. Maybe the counsel can put it in a different way. Well, MNISI did not do that. He said, I'm not putting an answer. I am saying what Mr. Sibia has been continually saying under cross-examination. I'm only confirming that with him. And Sibia said that if there were AVLs, they would be showing the cars, where they were traveling and which cars were there, and they traveled which route at what time, and whether it was matching the times that he was stating in his evidence. Well, MNISI said the absence of those AVL records What would that mean in the case that you're facing? Well, Sibia said the AVLs not being there, he sees it as an oppressive thing, especially in his side. When he explains that the vehicles that they were traveling in, or tries to tell where they were and which route they took and all of that, the police that are from EMPD and the state, they said that their vehicles are fitted with AVL when they came to testify. The judge asked one of those police officers who had actually mentioned that EMPD officers are fitted with AVL. The judge did ask him if all the vehicles were fitted with AVL, but when the prosecutor came back, he said that EMPD vehicles were not, some of them were not fitted with AVL. That actually happened, you guys. And then we found out from, I think it's Matlanga Commission, that all of them with EMPD are fitted with AVL. All of them. We heard it go Matlanga Commission. So every evidence that the police want to use, they come back with it. But when we want evidence, they don't bring it. This is what Meyiwa was saying, that every time they want to use evidence to their advantage, they bring it. But when it's to their advantage, they don't want to bring it. Well, MNISI said, I don't want to misunderstand you and what you are saying. I just want to find out from you if I'm the correct to understand you to mean without those AVLs, justice would seem not to be done in your case. Sibia said, it's not just justice for me. And he said, it's not justice for me because they threw away pocketbooks. With the AVL, they said that the vehicles are not fitted with AVL. He says he feels oppressed because when he speaks, it's not clear. Because the evidence that they require from the prosecutors, they are not giving it to them. Well, MNISI asked, is it correct that the only people who can make those AVLs available are the police themselves, the SAPS and the EMPD? And Sibia said yes. Now MNISI moved on to the photos of the pointing out, and he said, you've been consistently saying that at no point did Colonel Hadebe explain to you your rights by way of going through the warning form with you. And Sibia said Hadebe never explained to him anything in that form. He just saw it in court via the prosecutor. Baloy objected to a question that it was a leading question, and MNISI said that he can say that he agrees or does not agree. It's not a leading question. It's a very fair question. If he does not agree, then he can say it's a no, it's a hogwash. MNISI asked the question again in terms of his view. Would you recognize the reading of his right in the form that was filled in by Mr. Hadebe as an important occasion in that process? This is the question that was dribbling the interpreter there. He was struggling to interpret this question because the essence of the question was in whether Sibia regarded what Hadebe was doing when he was filling in that form as an important occasion. But the interpreter was interpreting it totally different, and it was resulting in Sibia now giving a different answer to show that he wasn't really understanding the question. Well, Sibia said Hadebe never read him his rights, right, line by line, about exactly like how Advocate Baloy had done it. So MNISI now ended up translating that question in Zulu as the interpreter was not interpreting it correctly. And Sibia said it was important for him to read out those rights, even though he did not do it. So that's the answer there. He finally got the question after it was asked to him in Zulu. So MNISI now said because there was a photographer there, Mr. Mapakela, who was requested to come, and he was requested to come and take all the pictures of what was happening there. What does that mean to you? The fact that an important occasion that was not part of the tools that Mr. Mapakela took. Hey, Mr. Mapakela was supposed to take Hadebe explaining the rights, going through the form with Mr. Sibia, explaining. Those pictures are not there. Sibia said that it means that Hadebe did not read him his rights, because had he read them, Mapakela would have taken a picture of that whole entire process. I think we need to now upgrade and move to a level of video. Okay, when they take these things, they have cameras. Pictures don't suffice. Videos now.
Yes.
Record, press record. MNISI went to a statement that Hadebe had gone through the right with accused number 1. Now, MNISI said you have consistently maintained that there was nothing that you ever said to Mr. Hadebe in your evidence and your interaction with him that would have been encapsulated in the statement that is attached to the form. Sibia said there's no statement that he did with Mr. Hadebe. And MNISI said, Mr. Sibia, I had the opportunity to go through the evidence of Mr. Sibia. No, not Mr. Sibia, Mr. Hadebe. So what MNISI has done is go back to the evidence in chief of Hadebe. And you know what he found out? MNISI said the statement is long, but he would not like to repeat it because all the information is on record. He was throwing a jab there to a fellow colleague. Well, MNISI said it is indeed so that in the evidence in chief, there's nothing that indicates that there was a particular point wherein you gave him a statement. Baloyi objected, saying it's not correct. They returned with Hadebe at his office. They asked him to explain the pointings out. He said he referred to the relevant portion. The problem here is that Hadebe, when he testified in his evidence in chief, he did not mention the process of explaining the rights to Mr. Sibia.
Yes.
It came when he came back after the trial, within a trial, now in the main trial. It was written somewhere in some notes somewhere down there, but in the trial within a trial, there was no record of him saying that he had gone through this and had done this. While CBI is saying it never happened. Now there was mentioning of some room that is like a container. That it happened there. So MNISI said that he looked at the proceedings of the 23rd of October 2023 just before he could cross-examine, or Hadebe could be cross-examined by Mr. Mgomezulu. And he said there's nothing in those proceedings that indicate that at one point or the other he sat down with you and you gave him a statement. Baloyi said in the trial within a trial, they went through this, and in the main trial, Hadebe came to testify about the contents of the pointing out. That is the portion that he says he returned with accused 1 to his office and explained the pointing out to him. MNISI said that there was a thing that indicates that, there's nothing that is indicating that in Mr. Hadebe's evidence in chief. MNISI asked for a comment on the mistake that Hadebe made, and Baloyi objected again, and the judge supported Baloyi's argument and asked to see the form again and said that Sibia signed it even though he denied it. He read the statement. Now he put an entire statement on record again.
The learned judge was struggling to read, man.
Hi, Begunzi. We confirmed everything. Like, I was just speechless. This is at my Lord, for the solitude of my conscience. I don't know what to call this, which the court has done now, because in all fairness, I would expect the court to sit calm and listen to these two parties. The judge said, I've listened. MNISI said, because it is the very same court which will ultimately, at the end of the day, would not be expected to give a judicial decision, but a judicious decision. The judge said, and yes, some ways I do that. That's what I do. MNISI said exactly what the court has done now is to give an impression that I can stand here the whole day and the whole night, and the court has already formulated a preface view. The judge said, no, I'm quoting you. Who said there was nothing that, I told you that you hold the view is fine, but that is not the view I heard, and it's fine. Well, MNISI said Mr. Hadebe's evidence in chief There is nowhere where it says that at some point when he interacted with Mr. Sibia on the day they had an opportunity to sit down and Mr. Sibia narrated the statement. That is just my argument. But what has just happened now, it's beyond my comprehension. The judge said if you feel that it was anything unlawful, the law says that you can make an application in terms of Section 319. You are at liberty to do that. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Keep the record.
Don't do it. We've come too far. We've come too far. Because the next thing you do it, then there'll be articles coming out saying that you've spent 10 million. That's what happened when they launched the application of 174. Now articles were coming out from legal aid being asked how much if this. So no.
I get.
Back.
Inshallah. This is where we end.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Thank you very much. Press the like button. Press the like button. Let's hear what tomorrow has for us. Seems there's a progress.
Yeah. I am happy game and just really gaming.
Yes. Let's press the like button. And
I'm excited.
It's Emily too.
Yeah, I see Mr. Nonza.
Thank you.